All right. We're getting ready to do sort of a preliminary discussion because I plan to come back with a much more well organized and with more receipts. I plan to come back and do this discussion again in a more thorough manner. But I feel like this is something that needs to be addressed and put out there, and then I can come back and reinforce it, when I have time to really do it. But I'm going to give you the parameters of what needs to be looked into and what's important. And then maybe next week I'll come back even harder. So let's do this. That's one more point I wanted to make. I'm going to start here. The Black Panther Party, if you studied their methods, if you studied Huey P. Newton, if you studied how he was able to mobilize and ignite black people in out in California when they started, because Huey's from Louisiana, but they started the party out in California, I believe, Oakland. And if you read his books, the two that I read are Revolutionary Suicide and To Die for the People. And if you look at the method that he used to get the people organized, or to at least get things off the ground, you have to have a target, you have to have an enemy, you have to have a foe, you have to give people something concrete that we're getting ready to deal with. So it's not just theoretical, it's not just abstract. What are we fighting against? And Huey said the most concrete, direct, open, and obvious force against the black man in California at that time was the police. That hasn't changed. But what I'm saying is that he couldn't really organize the people to fight liberalism or organize them to fight conservatism. Are you trying to organize them to fight government? Are you trying to organize? What's the most direct manifestation that contacts you daily of white supremacy? What's the most direct tool? What's the most direct appendage of white supremacy that you can feel, see, and touch daily that I can tell you this what we got to get ready for? For them, it was the police. Okay, now watch this. So he organized the Black Panther Party for self-defense. Who we defending against? They weren't trying to defend themselves necessarily against other black people. Their main aim was to defend themselves against white supremacy and the most direct, aggressive, open, and relentless manifestation of white supremacy, which was what? The police. That's the part of the military wing. Okay, so let's talk about what I'm talking about with these demonic nine. The demonic nine. Let's see if I can remember them. On the male side, you have Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappas. You got the Kappas, Sigmas, Omegas, and Iotas. On the female side, you have the AKAs, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Deltas, Zetas, I might have missed one. Okay, that's fine. But anyway, I pledged into one of these organizations when I was at the University of Iowa. The pitch that I got was, oh, we see you want to help the community. You all about your black people. Well, guess what? A lot of great black community leaders and organizers were members of Alpha Phi Alpha. And who? Well, Paul Robeson, Martin Luther King, Thurgood Marshall, what's that other guy named? W.E.B. Du Bois. These are people that were influential in building up the black community, and they were part of our organization. So if you really about black people, you ought to, join this organization. There'll be networking and community building and organizing, and it's the first black Greek letter fraternity. So young Mohawk maniac at the University of Iowa, I say, hey, well, I'm all about my black people, and I could do a lot by myself, but I could do much more if I had a whole organization. Hey, let's do it. So I went through this 9 weeks of hell, indoctrination, and the whole process. And I'm thinking that once I do this, wherever I go around the world, there are going to be strong black alpha males lined up to help me fight white supremacy and organize and build on behalf of our people. That was a lie. Okay? All right? These organizations are not about empowering black people. Guess what? These black Greek organizations are Greek, but they're not black. Can I prove it? Number one, you using Greek letters. If you really wanted to be about blacks, you would have went back to the Kemetic knowledge that the Greeks stole. Right? The Greeks stole from the ancient Egyptians. I don't like to call them Egyptians because they didn't call their land Egypt. They call it Kemet, the land of the blacks. But you're not black because guess what? Are you black exclusive? No. Anybody can join. Nah, check this. Stop me. Somebody just go fact check this and tell me if I'm wrong. You could be Billy Sally out of Alabama and go be a Delta. You could be Bobby Bob out of Mississippi and go be an Alpha. Yes, you can. These so-called black fraternities and sororities are not black. Look at Kamala. She's an AKA. East Indian, Asian, whatever you want to call it. You don't have to be black. You can't call your organization black if black is not a requirement. Okay? I'm not going to go too deep because I'm going to come back again. And I'm going to come back again maybe next week to go get to the bottom of it. But these organizations are not even black. But they're Greek. Now, if you read this book, you'll get a good picture of all the stuff that the Greeks were stealing from the Africans. There's no such thing as Greek philosophy. There's no such thing as a Greek mystery system. The whole system of guiles and these secret training organizations, this is all Kemetic, where you're brought up in the knowledge. I don't know what UConn is out there barking at, but don't worry about it. Hopefully he'll stop soon. I'm going to have to go cuss him out or either just bring him in the house. But anyway, once you studied this book, well, these two books, both magnificent. In this book, Dr. Diop, he tells you how all of modern civilization, math, science, chemistry. If you study this book, you see where the Africans were the originators of all this stuff. And then if you study this book, you see how every outsider, whether he be Greek, whatever you want to call him, was our enemy. So why the hell would I want to go? Shit. Damn thing. Let me get that right. And I got bullets everywhere. These FN57 bullets are so expensive that I try to keep them as many as I can everywhere. But they'll knock you off your feet. That's my everyday round right there. FN57, deadly, penetrates body armor. Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna go bring UConn in the house. Give me 3 seconds, and I'll come back on calling ourselves Greeks. Let me make a note to myself, cause UConn just think the whole neighborhood is his. Give me 1 minute. Where's Sage? Yeah. Come on, y'all come be on the show for a second. Okay. UConn. Uh-oh. Daddy babies. All right, come on.
UConn is wet.
Ethan, what the hell are you barking at?
He's
All
not
right.
barking at nothing.
I just wanted to give y'all a look at these African babies. They getting big. Give me a kiss. Can y'all say BPM for life?
BPM for life! And I always say
BPM
for
today,
life,
BPM tomorrow, BPM for life,
baby. But where's Yukon? He's supposed to be here.
All right, y'all got y'all beds done?
Yeah.
They just got, no, they haven't. Mommy is in there working on their beds. But they really helping. Y'all really helping?
Yeah.
Y'all did at least clean up your room, right?
Right. Uncle Z, at least helped us.
Uncle Z. Okay, well, go make sure Mommy get that. Y'all help Mommy get that done. I'll see y'all in a minute, all right?
Okay.
All right. Get out of here. Close my door. Say, see you later.
See you later, bye. See you later, bye. See you later, bye.
Why did you do that? Get out of here. Close my door.
What did she do, Daddy?
She almost knocked the thing down. Okay, close the door. Close the door and make sure you can not tearing up nothing. All right, so you want to call yourself Greek. Man, I once gave my BPM kids a lesson about the Greeks. These Greeks were homosexual pedophiles out the roof. You wouldn't even believe it. If you ever studied the Greeks for just one day, and I'll give you another book. Well, I have my books scattered around. So I don't got Bob. Do I have Barbara Rudy? Yes, I got it right here. My kids done ripped the cover. I got the cover somewhere. But, oh, no, they ripped the back cover. They didn't rip the front cover. Okay. If you read this book, you'll never want to call yourself Greek again. Homosexuality and the feminization of African males. The Greeks were the biggest pedophile perverts you could ever lay your eyes upon. So number one, I would never tell my kid to identify as Greek. Not gonna do it. Okay? So, now, let's get to the root of it, then I'll come back to the surface for a little bit. The Urugu plans long term. Urugu don't plan 5 days down the road, or 5 months down the road, or 5 years down the road. Urugu plan at about 100 years down the road. Why do I say that? He's not making moves based on what's going to happen tomorrow. He's making moves based on what's going to happen to his kids, his grandkids, his great-grands, and his great-great-grands. Why is this relevant? Because they know they already had their secret societies over here in America that they stole from Kemet. They knew that one day the black folks were going to want to have their Masonic, fraternal, and other organizations. They knew. They knew they didn't want us in theirs, right? They knew. So what they do? They say they're going to want their own organizations. We don't want them organized independently of us, although we don't want them to be a part of our organizations. So we'll just make sure the whole infrastructure and ideology behind what they go organize for themselves is built on our information, our knowledge, and our perspective, so that their fraternal and Masonic organizations will be tools of white supremacy. And that's exactly what we have today. Alpha Phi Alpha was formed because these black guys the white boys didn't want them in their organization, so they decided to go form their own. Hey, damn it, if you wanted to be in their organization in the first place, you are not qualified to go start a black one. Because guess what? You starting out of white rejection. That's your motivation. That's the wrong motivation. White rejection. But since you were seeking their approval in the first place, if you were seeking to integrate in the first place, that means you unfit to go start our own independent shit. All right? And that's what this was founded out of. No, we're not good enough to be in the white organizations, and they don't want us, so we'll start our own to be as close like them as we can. Hell no. That's not genuine. That's not valid. That's not authentic. And that's not going to push us towards liberation. Okay? Let's get that clear. You do not form black movements, black efforts, black organizations out of white rejection. Because you shouldn't have been seeking white approval in the first damn place. Check that out. Okay? All right. Let's go. These organizations are just the main, these demonic nine are the recruiting grounds for the gay boule. What's the gay boule? The gay boule is the overarching black boule, bougie gay organization, fraternity, sorority, where only the most well-connected blacks can be a part, and they 100% straight up and down in line with the homosexual, pedophile, democratic, liberal agenda. And they will always tell you to march and sing, but they won't tell you to swing. Let's get into it now. It's a lot that goes into this, and I'm trying not to go too deep because I'm going to come back again because I want to have more receipts when I come back again. But just go Google the Boule. It's an actual organization with a website, and it's for the cream of the crop, Jack and Jill. Go Google that organization. It's for the cream. It's for the what did Du Bois call it? Because Du Bois was one of these elitists. He only became Pan-Africanist out of white rejection. Go Google the Jack and Jill Children's Program. It's for the cream of the crop. What Du Bois call them? Talented 10th. You see how elitist that sounds? Do you hear me? It's so elitist because guess what? If only 1 out of every 10 of us is talented, that means 9 out of 10 black people ain't got no talent. They ain't worth nothing. We talentless. Uh-oh. I think Melanie getting on them girls. Oh, Lord. Uh-oh. When Melanie get mad, things happen. But anyway, let's think about how elitist that is. Did you ever hear white people say only 10% of us have talent? The other 90% of us ain't shit. Did you ever hear white people say that? No, they're not going to say that. But there's a thing implanted in the more educated, white educated, because you can be an educated, ignorant person, but I'm talking about you get the white people's education. They intentionally persuade and teach and instill in those blacks that they are elite, special, and talented, and that the rest of those old ghetto blacks, they ain't shit. Them radical blacks, crazy. It's you with the Harvard doctorates that are talented, and the rest of them, they're not even worth it. So, and this boule mentality is spread and ingrained and entrenched through Google Boule, and you go from Boule straight down to the demonic nine. Do you hear me? You go to any black city and you find who the major black officials are, and the city haven't improved. 9 times out of 10, those big time, high level black officials are going to be in one of those demonic nine organizations because it's the recruiting ground for the gay boule. Now, let me give you an example of the gay boule. You guys have probably heard of a guy by the name of Andrew Gillum, a disgusting, despicable damn devil who went to FAMU. I don't know if he actually pledged or not, but I know he was a part of student government. Very popular and well accepted in the FAMU community. And ran for governor. He became a mayor in Tallahassee, ran for governor. All the time having sex with white male gay prostitutes and doing drugs and cheating on his wife and pretty much leading I won't say a double life because his wife knew, so. But he was still leading a double life because he was lying to us, right? And Barack Obama's the same way. But what I'm trying to say is this. This boule crowd, they don't want any masculine heterosexual black males. Straight black manhood is not allowed. So, if the demonic nine are the recruiting grounds for the gay boule, then you don't want your kids going through that because they can very easily come into contact with some requirements that you don't want them coming into contact with because it's part of the culture. Now, if your kid is a big black alpha male, then they're probably not gonna want them. The only way I got accepted to alpha is because, well, you know, I was a former football player, and I was also the president of the Black Student Union, and I was also a senator in the student government. I had a lot of stuff that I was doing, and also at the same time I was involved in a hell of a lot of controversies, fighting. I was just a hot button issue. You get me to join your organization, it's gonna just bring a lot of attention to it. But that's not what they're looking for. Okay. So anyway, let's get back on point. Um, when you Google these topics, before we get to the next one, Google Black Boule and then come on down to the Demonic Nine, also called the Divine Nine, Panhellenic Council. Hellenic, that's Greek. Google all those before we move on, and that'll give you a good grip on what I'm saying. Now, the Divine Nine are under a gag order. What do I mean by that? In the black community, we don't have that many organizations that are well structured, well funded, with the means and capabilities to advance our agenda and impact our environment. The so-called black organizations that we do have that are made up of doctors, lawyers, teachers, scholars, upper middle class, the ones that we do have that have the funding, have the backing, have the support, those are the Demonic Nine. But you've noticed, let me ask you a question. How many of the Demonic Nine organizations have started a land buying farming program to get black people to be food self-sufficient, like the Nation of Islam did under Elijah? You got the money because you got the wealthy, upper middle class, well-to-do black members. So you got the people, you got the support, because man, black people go crazy about their fraternity or their sorority. You could do it. Why haven't you bought 5 acres and planted beans, corn, squash, whatever the black people could eat whenever times get hard? Because if you notice, at the height of the pandemic, the grocery stores were rationing things out. You couldn't really get everything you wanted or needed, you know? It'd have been good that you don't have to go to Publix. You don't have to go to Walmart. We have our own food security. Have one of the Demonic Nine done that? They got the money. Okay. Let's go into it a little bit more. Ahmaud Arbery was shot just for jogging. It's really essential now that we be able to protect ourselves and our families. Have either one of the Demonic Nine started offering firearms training, boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, fitness training, so that we'll be better equipped to protect ourselves? Have any one of the Demonic Nine say, hey, black people, it's time for us to arm up? Because if the AKAs can do strolls to the polls, okay? If the bully elite divine Demonic Nine organizations can do strolls to the polls, why we can't do strolls to the gun stores? Okay, why we can't do strolls to the damn library to get a book? Do you hear me? Why we can't do strolls to the damn gym? Do you hear me? But you gonna stroll to the polls. Let's stroll to the battle rifles. Why we can't do that? Can we do a stroll to the battle rifles and teach our people how to set up a battle rifle? Since we got these organizations with the money and the capacity to do so? No, we can't do that because you are beholden. These organizations are 100% beholden to the white, bougie, liberal, Zionist elite. 100%. We want to be Greeks. Why don't we go to the root of it and go to the ancient Kemetic mystery system where the Greeks stole it from? You want to look at it like that? Okay. Why you not doing nothing? Listen to me now. A memorandum went out from one of these black demonic nine organizations at the height of, I believe it was the Trayvon Martin controversy. And they said, if you're going to, listen to me now. I can end off on this. How long I've been going? Just 25 minutes. I told y'all this not going to be long because I plan to come back more in depth in the future. But I wanted to get this out there to get this simmering in everybody's mind. They said, when the Trayvon Martin thing happened, George Zimmerman killed this innocent black boy right down here in Florida outside of my hometown. The demonic nine, one of them, I don't know which one it is, I ain't gonna pin it on neither of them, but it was one of them. They put out a memo and they said, hey, to their members, they said, if you're gonna go protest, don't wear your organization paraphernalia. If you're gonna get out in the streets and you're gonna be a little angry, just don't wear our stuff. Huh? It really happened. It really happened. When I come back again, I'll have the receipt. But just ask around. All of us know somebody that's joined one of these organizations. Some people stay loyal to them. Some people get in and see. I got in and I saw. I say, man, these people more worried about their resume and job position than black economic empowerment and independence. I can't roll like this. Do you hear me? Now, if I had got in and I seen a bunch of real black men that were hell-bent on building black families and building out the community and training these boys and making them men, I would have been a loyal member. But when I got in, all I seen, hi, I'm Darrell, such and such. I work for a Fortune 500 company. I pledge that such and shut the up. Bruh, I don't care. Damn integrationist. Yeah, man. It's real deep. But I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to close out on this. If we're looking at the real spiritual, intellectual, psychological, economics, and political state of the black man today, you got to understand. And if my book by Amos Wilson is in the bathroom, I keep books everywhere around my house. If you're looking at our spiritual, mental, physical, economic, political disposition, ideology, orientation, you'll realize that it's white directed for about 70 to 80% of us. I'm not going to put all us in that boat. Now, when I say it's white directed, it's not directly white directed. What do I mean by that? The white man ain't going to come out and tell you, this is what I want you to think, this is what I want you to do, this is how I want you to act. He's not going to do that. It'll be too obvious. What he's going to do is he's going to go to his black bourgeois elite and those who can convince us are black. Because the magical mulattoes, Obama, Kamala, and the other blacks, and they're going to say, this is how I need these blacks to be marching. You go convince them that this is best for them. You go convince them that this is cool. Right? He's not going to go directly to us. He's going to go to a go-between. What do they call it? A little agent. I need y'all to go, let's take Kamala. Don't have them talking about reparations. No! I'm not going to do anything for black people. Get them to talk about your Converses and your pearls. Huh? Got it, boss. Okay? Go to Barack Obama. No, I'm not going to do anything specific for black people. Get them to talk about, we got to appreciate having representation in the White House. And the number one tool is these demonic nine. These are most likely, listen to me, these are most likely the most successful, connected, happiest looking Negroes in your city. They all in one of these organizations and they telling you to go take the vaccine. They're telling you to go get your booty to the pole. Do you hear me? They're not going to break from standard Urugu knowledge. Go get the vaccine. Go. Huh? Yeah. Go get the vaccine. Support the LGBTQ. They're going to tell you standard liberal bullshit ideology. But they're going to be doing it as blacks in an esteemed organization with a title and a little wealth to make you say, hey, I'm going to follow that. Okay? Now, this just an introduction. Because when I come back, I'm going to come back way harder with way more receipts. Just wait. Next Monday, hope I don't get banned from this because I don't even know where the hell I'm going now. They done banned me from Facebook. They done shadow banned me from Instagram. I can't even go live on there. And I don't even know how to use Twitter. The only reason I got on Twitter because I wanted to follow Donald Trump, but they banned him. And so I guess if they ban me again, I'm going to have to go to MySpace. But I must tell you. Now look, that's the Sphinx. But you'll see I have A5A on there. I thought I was joining a real gangster organization. When was Alpha founded? 1906. I thought, hey, if we about building a community, hey, this gonna be a beautiful thing. I was wrong. I haven't paid any dues for at least a decade. Don't attend any meetings, and don't even support them because I see what it's about. Don't even like to wear my paraphernalia. Because then that make them think they can come up to you and talk to you, bro. I don't want to talk to you if you're not doing nothing to specifically empower the black community. I'm not talking about underprivileged, underclass minorities. Hell no. I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about black people. Okay? So, between here and there, I want you to go Google the Boule, the Black Boule. There's an actual fraternal organization behind it. I forget the name of it, Phi something Sigma, something with them Greek letters. Then you come on down and you Google the Divine Nine, Demonic Nine. And then you just look around. Kamala Harris. You know who was in the Black Divine Nine fraternal organizations? You know how phony this bullshit is? You know who was a Phi Beta Sigma, one of the Black Demonic Nine? You know who was a Sigma? Bill Clinton. Knock you off your... Now you Google that. Go Google that. Go. 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 I'm telling you no lies. Go check me. Check me out now. So on this upcoming Saturday, we have our BPM Principle Driven Study Group session. The following week, I want to do a BPM Gun Club outing. We're going to continue to put the work in, the study, the principles. I'm tired. Been a long day. But support it. Tax deductible. What is it? BPM money sign BPM the number 4 life all caps. Support the work. We're not gonna stop. I'm gonna come back again next Monday about this same time, and we're gonna go further into this topic. But in the meantime, we're doing the real world boots on the ground work. We raising these boys. Shit, they raising boys themselves. They got families. So y'all see what we doing. But the topics that need to be discussed, I'm going to hit them. And I'm going to hit them the way I want to hit them. Now, I can't really do this on Zulu Speaks. It's tune into those every Thursday. But, the Reverend Rogue has his way of, doing things. But that's a beautiful thing, too, because it's the rawest stuff you're going to get. I got to be a little bit more politically correct in what I do, but the Reverend just finna come straight up and down raw, and we need that. So tune in for those every Thursday night at 9 Eastern. But as far as the Mohawk Maniac, getting some stuff off my chest, and then some. Next week is not just gonna be getting stuff off my chest. It's gonna be a little bit more in depth. It's gonna be. I'm going after the Divine Nine because I feel like they are the cornerstone of the Black Boule Bougie Elite, and they literally convincing us to do self-destructive things and making us believe it helps us, such as this vaccine. And it's like a fire shut up in my bones. I believe it was either John the Baptist who said it's like a fire shut up in my bones that I have to say it. Even at the risk of professional relationships in my own city, friendships, even at the risk. Even at the risk, I have to say it. Okay? So next week we coming back, but we got the study group coming up. We're going hard. So last thing, good tired. We got fighters going in March 6th. So support the warrior for with them. We're gonna have to do the travel. We're gonna have to do the supplements. You know, we're in training camp. You know all these expenses add up. PPM fight team growing strong. We're bringing out 3 new fighters. Y'all already seen RBGZ, the African People's Champion. He'll be back soon. You already seen Shotgun Shamar. Got kicked to him. He'll be back. He's taking care of a little newborn baby, about a month or 2 old right now. Now we're bringing you 3 new fighters. Oh, Lord. And they all got kicked to him. So support the work, and we'll see you guys. Well, I'll be back Thursday night, but I'll be back on here. Wait, my suspension is going to run out in about 7 days. So soon I'll be able to go live on Facebook and Instagram again until I say something else about the Rainbow Boys. But, yeah, I'll be able to go back to those platforms. But I might just stay here because they haven't banned me yet. So, BPM for life. Have a good night. Let's go to work.